sports car in some way, in the way it feels. Something you should do is to wake up rather early in the summer mornings. Get out on the road, if you want to drive, that is, because the traffic is light and the mornings are just beautiful. So that is something that you should do more often if you like to drive. And today we would like to drive because we're in the BMW M4 CS. Start it up, and it barks to life with its powerful voice. So I wanted to try this one out and see how much better it is than the BMW M4 LCI, the Lifecycle Impulse facelifted model that I drove about a year ago, which I thought was more than splendid enough. It's just so much joy in a pure BMW driving fashion. And the best thing is that you get the rear wheel drive, and I love that in a powerful BMW because they always provide you with such a good oversteery feeling, but with great control. And this CS model, we know that CS, they have always made the M models even sharper. Been driving a CS, I drove the M2 CS, tried that out, the earlier one, and that was really good. Still, the M2, very twitchy and fun in its way, but that was a bit more composed. So they just make them even more focused, and this is supposed to thrill you a lot on the normal roads, of course, but then be extra on the racetracks. So what I should do is take it on the track, but having any good tracks around here, do that later maybe. So what's new about this one? Well, first of all, it's a little lighter and it's got more power. 550 horsepower compared to the M4 Competition, which has 530. That is just more than well enough to have more than well enough fun on all different roads. But they want to take it a bit further here, of course. 0 to 100 is done in 3.4 seconds. You got a lot more lightweight materials in this reinforced plastics. You can see that in the front, the lip, winglets, diffuser, new lighter exhaust system, lighter wheels, 1 kilo per wheel. And then you got this lighter center console here inside, which is not as good for practical reasons, but who gives about that when you just want to drive, because it is a little of a track weapon, this one. Lighter hood, lighter doors, a lot of carbon fiber all around there, which just looks good. Same system and all of this, which works very fine. As usual, it is a little cluttery in the menus here, and maybe it takes over a little to be, you know, that extra racy focus, but still sits in the middle between the M4 Competition and the CSL. But I still think that it's very driver focused, very racy focused. I mean, look at this wheel. I said that before, the proportions of it are almost a little ridiculous because it feels just so big, and it is even thicker, it feels like, with the Alcantara. It feels like they've just put that on top of the already very thick steering wheel. But after a while, it's very cozy. I like it. But you need to have a little bigger hands to get a real grip around it. I like a little thinner steering wheels, like in the Porsches. I always say that. Carbon bucket seats, which just sit like, well, you can't almost move, and that's what you want in a racy car. So that is just great. Now it's a very nice interior. You see it fairly good in the back seat as well as an adult. Much better than in a 911. But this also competes with the 911 GTS, the new model. About the same performance. Drove that when it was wintertime. It was just great, that one as well. And I mean, that one is a super effective car on the road. You can feel that the suspension is a bit harder because that has been tweaked. You got a new camber on it. And you got new bushings and new mounts for the engine to provide a better rigidity when higher performance is needed. Lap timer and everything to, you know, just set your time, do your drift analyzing and all of that. 0 to 100 in 3.4 seconds. Launch control. I mean, that acceleration, that is serious. It almost feels like there's more than 550 horsepower when it slingshots you away in that way. So this is almost borderline super sports car in some way, in the way it feels, because it feels so aggressive and it just, you know, puts its teeth into the road in such a way that it's incredible. So that four-wheel drive system, the MX drive system, provides you with so much grip, but yet a little wiggle. Still, that is good, that is fun, and that is reassuring, but it is not as fun as putting it into rear-wheel drive. That just makes you come alive in a different way, but it requires a lot of you as a driver at the same time. But that's the fight that I love in cars. I respect cars that are rear-wheel driven only. The CSL, that's only rear-wheel drive, and you get rid of the back seat in that one as well. A little more hardcore in everything. I would like to drive that one, but I would like to drive it on a track because it's more or less just made for the track. This one is as well, but at the same time for the road. But to get all that power down, well, you need some good sticky tires, and this one has really got good tires. You got the Michelin Sport Cup 2, and when they get some temperature in them, well, they're really hard to beat, but they're even better on a very smooth track or on the racetrack. The gearbox is also optimized, so the gearing is quicker. It's ZF, so it's an automatic. I just think it's smooth and fast enough. Would you like to have a double clutch gearbox? I don't know why. I think this works very, very fine, and it gives those good punches when you hit the next gear. The feeling in these big, very generous paddles is a little plastic. It's not like in the Porsches. They are smaller though, but yeah, it's a little plastic in their feel, but I think it's all right. With these two buttons on the steering wheel, M1 and M2, just 2 clicks and you get your favorite mode. Like here, 2-wheel drive, everything off, or M1, and it goes into normal, or you can set it into 4-wheel drive sport. Anyway, you want to customize it here. Efficient, sport, comfort, steering, braking, engine, M traction control, the lot. There's not that much more to really go through in this car. Let's just enjoy the way it feels. Rear-wheel drive, all the power at my command. Temperature in the tires. And the brakes that just do their job fantastically well. You live a bit more on the mid-range in this one, so you don't need to top it out that much. And I could feel immediately when I got this car that the steering was, you know, very, very alive. Not as subtle as in the M4 Competition, a lot more on point. So that has been reworked as well. This is just pure joy. Much more grip in this one. The M4 didn't have the same grip. You can really feel that. And I was just pulls and pulls and pulls. You feel that the G-forces are a bit different in this one. A lot more grip. Comes down to the tires, of course, but not just that. The whole combination of a bit more optimized gearing, a little quicker, that steering feel and the input and where the car just moves around and how it sits down at different compression points. That's where the difference is. It now feels like a more sharp car, actually. The M4 Competition was a little softer, yet very good that as well, you know, fine enough for most drivers. But this, wow. You don't always need to top it out all the way either. You can short shift a little and then you live on its momentum. The carbon ceramic brakes, they do their job very, very well. The brake feel is just splendid. And this is a bit more fun in some way. Comparing it to the 911, super precision, razor sharp, effective. This one is the same, but with a lot more joy in some way. Still a rather heavy car, 1,760 kilos. So there is still a lot to manage here. The top speed is 302 kilometers an hour. I think that the steering is a lot more focused now. It was good before, but it was a little numb in some places. You can set it into comfort, you can set it into sport. Comfort is a bit more, you know, laid back. But now I think that there is a lot more feel in it. It's still a little on the light side. It would be good to have a little better feedback, a little more, you know, weight to it. I think that you would notice more differences when driving it really, really hard on the track. It's always like that when you have the right tires and a little sharper setup on average. Because I think that the M4 Competition is just the perfect car in that way. Or sure, the M3 and the M3 Touring, even though you should go for the M4 because it's more beautiful and it looks more like a sports car. I just like that punch. And then it always wiggles a little with its rear end. You don't place it as perfect as you do with a Porsche. That's the thing. It's a little bit more wallowy, even though this one is a lot better than the Competition, of course. More feel where you're putting it. And I like to struggle. I like to have a car that, you know, plays along with you a little more than just being very clinical. You can drive at rather high gears and just floor it, because from 3,000 RPM it feels like there's no turbo lag at all. It just munches on. Still in its hardest setting on these roads, that is a rather bumpy road. It's soft, and in these seats, soft, comfortable. So the chassis is really, really magnificent. Put it into the four-wheel drive system then if you want some more grip. But I just want to play along like this. This is what I think is fun. You get enough grip in this car, you can drive in a rear-wheel drive, all systems off. Very, very exciting car. It comes at a cost though. This one, with almost everything on it, well, it breaks the barrier of 200,000 euros, so 2 million Swedish crowns. That is a lot of money for some extra power, a little lightweight, a little more focus. But if you're a BMW fan and you really want the very, very best when it comes to M cars, well then this is for you. For the thrills that you want on your daily drive, on your favorite roads, or if you occasionally go to the track. And you'll have one of the very, very best and most technical track tools that you can enjoy in so many settings. So this is really something special, but still something that you can live with from day to day. And we can't forget about the green, beautiful color of this car. The Isle of Man frozen green. That is a great color, especially together with these gold tinted rims. So many cars are expensive nowadays, and they come a lot cheaper in their feel sometimes, but this one stays up there. The sound of the engine might be a bit on the more dampened side, might not feel that emotional in some way. I don't know how to put it, but you know what, I like how it just has a growly, more silenced tone over it. It's just strong, like a bear, like a confident bear, and you live on a lot of its torque. And I like how it takes on the roads, because I like the chassis somewhat. It might feel a little unnerving at times, which might get some drivers to feel, you know, a little unnerved, because it bounces about. And when it bounces about, and when you drive in rear-wheel drive and it has this rear-wheel biased feel, it might just kick out a little and you need to correct it. But this is a car that is supposed to do that. That is supposed to stir the emotions, stir your senses, and make you feel a little on edge. That's what makes a real sports car. Everything shouldn't be super planted all the time. And once again, that's what I'm talking about, the respect of having a very powerful engine, rear-wheel drive, all systems off, learning how to tame that one. And this one, it provides you with all of that. It just serves up to a good match. And I love a good match. And when you learn this car on the very limit, then you're almost a pro level driver. So if you buy this one, take it to the track, use it to its fullest potential with all the settings. Use the drift analyzer, use the traction control system when you have it in rear-wheel drive, so you can get a bit of slip. This car is so much joy for everyone, guaranteed that. And it's also the same with the BMW M5. All the weight, 2,600-700 or what it is, kilos, but still feels like a smaller car when you use it in rear-wheel drive and you push it to its very, very limit. You can see that review on the channel as well. There's something special about the M cars. There's so much driving fun that they provide you with that it is incredible. But nowadays, a lot of that fun in many cars has been brushed off. But in the BMW segment, they still keep it alive. They keep it alive big time.